Former UFC champion Ronda Rousey has officially confirmed a shocking return to mixed martial arts, sending waves through the entire combat sports world. Nearly a decade after stepping away from active competition, the groundbreaking pioneer says she is ready to compete again, but this time with a completely different mindset. According to Rousey, the years away were not spent in silence or comfort. Instead, she focused on rebuilding every part of herself, mentally, physically, and technically. The former champion insists that the fighter fans once watched dominate the cage is only the beginning of what she has become today. Now 39 years old, she promises that this new version is calmer, smarter, and far more dangerous. For longtime MMA fans, the announcement feels almost surreal. The woman who helped shape modern women's MMA is stepping back into the spotlight. But for the current generation of fighters, her return signals something else entirely, a legendary competitor preparing to challenge the new era. Rousey made it clear that her comeback is not about nostalgia or unfinished fame. Instead, she described it as a mission to reassert dominance in a sport she helped bring into the global spotlight. During a surprising statement, she addressed rising star Dakota Ditcheva directly, suggesting that the new generation may soon face a challenge from one of the most influential fighters in MMA history. Her words immediately sparked intense debate among analysts and fans. Some believe the sport has evolved too far for a veteran to reclaim the spotlight, while others argue that experience and strategy could make her incredibly dangerous. Either way, her return instantly reshapes conversations around women's MMA. If Rousey truly intends to compete at the highest level again, it could place Ditcheva's rapidly rising career on a direct collision course with one of the sport's most iconic figures. For young contenders climbing the rankings, the path forward suddenly looks far more complicated. On February 17, 2026, Rousey confirmed the news publicly during an interview with ESPN, officially ending months of speculation. In the interview, she revealed that her first major fight back will be against fellow MMA pioneer Gina Carano. According to Rousey, the matchup is intended to be one of the biggest super fights ever organized in women's combat sports. Fans immediately began calling it a historic moment. Both fighters were among the earliest stars who helped bring female fighters into mainstream recognition. For years, the idea of a Rousey versus Carano fight had circulated among fans, but it never became reality during their prime years. Now, more than a decade later, the possibility has suddenly become real. Rousey hinted that this fight could mark the beginning of something even bigger, teasing that there is much more to come. Those three words alone were enough to ignite speculation throughout the MMA community. For those who have followed Rousey's career closely, this sudden return may not be as surprising as it seems. Throughout her career, she developed a reputation for planning every move with careful precision. She rarely acted impulsively, inside or outside the cage. According to people close to her training camps, the years away from competition were far from idle. Rousey reportedly spent much of that time rebuilding her body after severe concussion issues that affected her near the end of her career. At the same time, she studied the evolving landscape of mixed martial arts, watching new fighters rise and new strategies emerge. The timing of her return in 2026 may not be accidental at all. Some analysts believe she's been quietly preparing for years, waiting for the right opportunity to re-enter the sport on her own terms. If that theory is true, this comeback may have been part of a long-term strategy. To understand why this announcement matters so much, it's important to remember exactly who Ronda Rousey is in the history of mixed martial arts. When the Ultimate Fighting Championship first decided to introduce women's divisions, Rousey became the organization's very first female signing. She quickly became the inaugural UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion and dominated the division in a way the sport had rarely seen before. During her reign, she defended the title 6 consecutive times, building a reputation as one of the most unstoppable fighters in the sport. Her signature armbar submission became legendary, often ending fights in seconds rather than minutes. Rousey's aggressive style, combined with her confidence and charisma, helped attract massive global attention to women's MMA. Before long, arenas were selling out.
Pay-per-view numbers were rising, and a new generation of female fighters began entering the sport because of the path she helped create. Several of Rousey's victories remained some of the most astonishing finishes in MMA history. One of the most memorable came when she submitted Kat Zingano in only 14 seconds, setting a record for the fastest title fight finish in UFC history. Another incredible moment arrived when she knocked out Alexis Davis in just 16 seconds. These rapid victories helped build her aura of invincibility during the early years of her UFC run. Almost every opponent she faced during that period was finished before the final bell. Fans quickly realized they were watching something special, a fighter who combined elite grappling skills with explosive aggression. Rousey's fights rarely lasted long, but they were unforgettable. Each performance added to her growing legend and helped expand the global popularity of women's mixed martial arts. By the time her championship reign was firmly established, she had already become one of the sport's biggest global attractions. Long before she entered professional MMA, she had already made history in another sport. In the 2008 Beijing Olympics, she earned a bronze medal in judo, becoming the first American woman ever to win an Olympic medal in that discipline. That achievement helped launch her transition into mixed martial arts. Shortly afterward, she joined Strikeforce, where she captured the Strikeforce Women's Bantamweight Championship. Her rapid success there eventually led to the UFC signing her as the face of its new women's division. By the time her MMA career initially ended, Rousey held a professional record of 12 wins and only 2 losses. Although those defeats came at the very end of her career, they did little to erase the impact she had already made in the sport. Her rise from Olympic medalist to MMA superstar became one of the most remarkable journeys in combat sports. Rousey's influence eventually extended far beyond the cage. In 2015, ESPN named her the greatest female athlete of all time, recognizing not only her achievements, but also her cultural impact. Around the same period, Fox Sports listed her among the defining athletes of the 21st century. She appeared in movies, television shows, and countless magazine covers while continuing to promote women's combat sports worldwide. For many fans, she represented a new kind of athlete, one who combined elite skill with mainstream popularity. Her presence helped open doors for female fighters who came after her, proving that women's MMA could attract the same excitement and global audience as men's divisions. Even after she stepped away from competition, her legacy continued shaping the sport. Now, with her return confirmed, that legacy may be entering an entirely new chapter. Standing on the opposite side of this potential new era is one of the fastest rising fighters in the sport, Dakota Ditcheva. Born in Sale, Greater Manchester, England, the 27-year-old striker has built an extraordinary reputation in a remarkably short time. Known for her aggressive striking style and technical precision, Ditcheva has quickly become one of the most feared competitors outside the UFC. Competing in the Professional Fighters League, she captured the Professional Fighters League Europe Women's Flyweight Championship in 2023. Her performances immediately attracted global attention, especially because of her ability to finish opponents with powerful knockouts. With a perfect professional record and a reputation for explosive fights, many analysts consider her one of the brightest stars in the next generation of women's MMA. Now, with Rousey returning to competition, the possibility of these two fighters sharing the same stage has created enormous excitement. If their paths eventually cross, it could represent a defining moment between two generations of MMA.